So I've got this stream. I didn't do a go live together one, but I've got this stream horizontal, and the only downside to horizontal is your messages don't pin. So you have to, every time you want them, you have to actually click on them. Oh, actually, I might be able to do live chat here. So we'll give people a couple of minutes to come on. God, my eye looks really turned. I don't know why. It must be the way the light's catching it, and I haven't got the headlights off. Might be a bit early for people, but I'll explain why I chose 7 o'clock anyway. I can't find my GBee top, so I'm stuck with I'm mic'd up. Hopefully the sound and the audio is good. Yeah, then messages definitely disappear. I think you have to be constantly watching it, and I've got stuff to do, you know. But got 2 people in there. Under armpit, yeah. My daughter bought me. It's quite comfortable actually. It's not a cotton blend, but it's quite nice. And I'll get my beard trimmed tomorrow. So we had someone pop in and disappear. But I'll get started for those who want to watch this sort of after the event. So obviously I did a stream yesterday, and I really enjoyed it. It was really interactive, went really well. And I thought about sort of doing I thought about doing, it doesn't show 2 people on, but I thought about doing a regular one, because I had a look on Fish Fam Link and sort of tried to fit in around other people, and Tuesdays or Wednesdays are pretty good for me, but there was a nice slot between 7 and 8:30, so I thought I'd sort of I'd use that spot so as not to tread on anybody's toes. And I have planned it for weekly, and obviously those that watch know that I haven't just got shrimp, but I didn't see, I haven't seen anyone else doing like a regular sort of shrimp show, and obviously I'll sort of go into that with sometimes the frogs. I've done some work on the isopods today, and I was going to start with, let me just move this camera down. So I was going to start with the obligatory Wednesday evening as a joke, the Wednesday evening water change, just on my Neos, but to be honest it's pretty pointless, because I mix a bucket, plug it in and fill them up. So I'm just waiting for this one to fill up. So this one is part of another video, and I've got a couple of little tasks to do in here. I haven't really done much in here today, but I've got the oh, completely forgot, lost my chain of thought then. We'll sort of go and have a look at the shrimp, but I do have a few bits to do, and I have got the frogs to spray. I've just filled up the water, so I've been moving water in, and I'll try and do some shrimp tanks that we didn't really sort of see yesterday. And this is just a pump up sprayer, and it's only a light misting, because especially on this one, because the it's quite heavily planted and the plants are growing in it, it holds humidity really well. And I always have to watch these, because the male turns round, and I'm really worried about getting his foot stuck in the door, because the door's quite low. But what I have fed these a light amount, and what tends to happen is the any fruit flies that get underneath leaves and cork bark tend to come out. I was going to flip you guys onto these just while we wait for a few people to turn up, but I've just sprayed the glass. I've just sprayed the inside of the glass. So let's give that a quick wipe. And I have got the lights off in here deliberately. The other reason I went for this time, and likewise yesterday quite early, was simply because my lights go off at a certain time. So for those of you that were Hi, Crazy for Seahorses. For those of you that were on yesterday, I left and went to do something, and I think I've got the camera on the shrimp tank, and the lights went off. So you guys at the end of my stream were sitting in the dark. So let's tell you what, let's turn it round that way first. So I've got a little job that I normally do in the mornings, but I haven't done those, and this is just pure RO water. Apologies for the glare of the lights, these are quite bright. And all I do is I literally just give these a very light misting. So these are my 4 jumping spiders. I have to be careful with the one on my right because she's right by the door, and unless I put my finger there, she might make a run for it. And the last thing I want is for an escaped spider. And I don't know how well this is going to show, but I've never been really good at growing houseplants, and I've started doing a few houseplants and they're doing really well. But let's flip the camera around, and I'll wait for a few people to join, and I'll give you guys. So for those of you that don't know, there's a little competition on these pair. So male's up there, and the is that the male? Yeah, that's the male. So male's up there, and the female's on the branch. And I might get something called epiweb and wrap it around that branch, and then seed it with mosses, so it sort of all grows in like a moss. But I'm looking for names for this pair. Hiya. So I'm looking at names for these pair. You can comment on this one, and what I was going to do was, if you guys put names in, I'll collate all the names together, and I'll probably do on one of my lives. So I don't know if I'm going to stick to Wednesday. Tuesdays are a little bit better for me, but I'm one of those people that I got an idea in my head, and if I get an idea, I want to do it now. And the first available slot that sort of fitted in with me was a Wednesday. So for now, I'm going to sort of continue on with a Wednesday slot. I may change it at a later point, and probably just talk to you guys about stuff that I've been up to. I know I spoke quite a lot yesterday, but I'll probably put you on different tanks today, and maybe show you a tank that hasn't. I've done a video on the build of that. Maybe show you guys, because this is the first episode of Shrimping Around, I may show you guys that tank as a first view. And it's only a Neo tank, but it is planted to a degree, only with simple plants. But you guys may get the first view of that from me. Hi everyone. So I'm just going to say hi everyone if I don't know your name. And I don't think it is a spider plant. You know, it looks like a spider plant, but I don't think it is a spider plant. I think it grows. It doesn't send off shoots like spider plants. It's well, what they're called. It's similar to this thing up in the back. It's another type of that, and the pinkish one down the side. God, what are they called? I keep wanting to say boost, but they're not boost. Sancho and Pancho. So yeah, this plant, it doesn't, where spider plants put out runners and create another little spider plant, this doesn't. So I don't know if you can see down here, they actually create pups, sort of offshoots, like these plants here. God, what are they called? Bromeliads. So it's a type of bromeliad, but it looks like a spider plant. I originally had it in here, but it was starting to split the cork, because it was producing pups. And I think you can pin them to walls. They're they're an epiphyte plant, but they all come in potted. But they are an epiphyte plant, and I've scared the frogs away. I might need to. I'm waiting for. I did a batch of fruit flies, and I've run out of adults, but I'm waiting for the hatch. There's still loads of maggots and pupae in there, and my other one is like a few days behind. So I've got a couple of adults in there and not many pupae. So I don't really want to take any adults out. I want them to do a bit more egging first. Hi, Humber. Yeah, but I think with Broms, they need high humidity, and I keep my humidity around 90% plus in both of these terrariums. So the one on the left. So this one, although there's not much in the way of bromeliads in there, I've got a bromeliad, the pink one in the corner, and then I've got a bromeliad hiding behind the ferns there. I haven't seen that. Have I missed something? I might have missed something here. And they're only under. So I've got on top. I've got 2 Nicru lights. So one's a 4 foot and one's a 3 foot. So I've got sort of, there's 2 windows on these, and I've got them over both. And one of the Nicrus is faulty, so if you see it flash, it's because one of the Nicrus just, it's almost like the, and it's done it for ages. I've had it a couple of years, but it's almost like the power pack sort of produces power, then stops for a split second. Oh, it's humid here as well. Thanks, Jeff. So, because I'm on a horizontal stream, it's you have to keep pressing it for the chat to come up. But I recently put in this this coconut hide, and there's a petri dish under it that I keep a little tiny bit of water in, and I've spotted the female checking it out a few times. So hopefully we might get some eggs and tads. Hopefully. And that's a bromeliad on the bottom left there. So if you can see, so I did plant them in it originally. Come on. So, oh, you can't see it from there, but there is a little pup. Come on. There is a little pup starting to come off that one. So that stripe one, from what I can gather, it produces a flower, like a spike flower. Then it dies off, but as it's dying off, it throws all its energy into pups. Aye. Please. Yeah, please. So, ironically, the start of shrimping around is frogs, but I promise you we will get to shrimp. I am. For those of you that have sort of joined after the initial intro, I'll repeat it. And sorry if anyone's watching this back, but the initial intro was welcome to the inaugural episode of Shrimping Around. I did that stream yesterday, and I really enjoyed it, and there was a lot of interaction. There was some good chat, There was a few questions asked, and I really enjoyed it. And I was sitting thinking last night that nobody really does a regular stream that's going to be mainly shrimp, you know, don't get me wrong. But I've also got other things going on in this room. So I've got the isopods, although they don't do much, but I've got the isopods. I've got some millipedes, some toxic millipedes, cyanide producing millipedes. I'll come back to that. But I looked on FishFam. I'm a member of FishFam Links, and I'm the sort of person, if I want to do something, if I've got an idea, I've got to do it straight away. So if I get an idea for a video, I'll go and try and shoot that video or start that video pretty much straight away. I'll set it up to go and do the video. And people that are on here that know me know that I've got videos to the end of September, and I'm probably working on 3 videos at the same time. So I like to sort of get things done, and Tuesdays or Wednesday evenings are good for me. And I had a look on FishFam. There was somebody in the calendar up to 7, and then there's someone behind me at 8:30. So I want to keep the stream to an hour and 25 minutes max, so as not to tread on other people's toes. I may change it in future to be Tuesdays, but what I like about the Wednesdays, I know everybody does Wednesday streams. What I like about the Wednesdays, it's hump day, it's the middle of the week. Everyone's sort of tired from work. You know, you're on the road to the weekend, and it's sort of nice to have a bit of a midweek high. Hence why I've gone with the Wednesday. But I did think long and hard about it, and excuse me a sec, guys. I was going to start as a joke. I was going to start with the proverbial Wednesday evening water change stream as a joke, and I got right to the point of my tanks were emptied, but because of my water change system and how I do my water changes, I'm only doing 2 tanks, just my Neos, but my water changes take about 10 minutes max, because I literally just take 10 or 20% out of the tank, fill it up, and well, take 10 or 20% out. I've got a sink behind me, empty them into that sink, and then literally plug my already mixed bucket of water into the float valve system for those tanks, and switch the pump on. So hence why I've not done it. And I said I was going to do it as a joke. If I was filling 1 tank up, I'd have probably done it as a joke. And as we got closer to the time, I thought, bugger it, I'm just going to do it as the stream. So, thank you. And obviously I'll be led by you guys if you guys want to see this sort of stuff. And what I probably could do is, I'm doing quite a few vlog style videos, but the streams could be little insights into what I've been up to and what I'm doing. Melvin in the building. Oh, I just got time on my hands. So yeah, if you wanna comment pre-post and name this pair of frogs, then feel free to do so. And then talking of bromeliads, actually, I bought off Amazon some air plants. Bought like a pack of 6, and they come sort of dried out. But there's one there. Go back, come on. I'll put one up in there, and I had one on here that was like trying to think what it looked like. It looked like a spiky thing, and they kept knocking it off. But I don't want to. I could wire it down, but they like to perch up there, so I've sort of left it as it is. Yeah, names for them. Bart and Lisa. Something along, not obviously Bart. Well, you could choose Bart and Lisa, but something where it's Laurel and Hardy, although one's male, one's female. Thelma and Louise, Bonnie and Clyde, loads. But I'm gonna let you guys name them, and I'll on one of the lives over the coming weeks. I'll collate all the suggestions together, and we'll do it live. I'll do like a spinny wheel thing on my. So I've got an old phone in here that is connected to the internet. Just an old Galaxy phone. Is it a Galaxy? Don't know. Samsung anyway, but it still works. It's not broken, and I can do like a spinny wheel type thing on it. Proper brave look. My gimbal went out of balance and didn't like that, did it? Sorry for the reflection of the AC unit, but it's lovely in this room. Let's give you guys. I'm just going to quick release this off the gimbal, and I'm going to give you guys the first view of. So I've done a full video on this scape. So it's for Neos, just cheap plants from an equivalent of Petco in the UK. This is me just having an idea and doing it, and used up a bit of dragonstone that I had, and we have in here, although they're quite difficult to see. There's one. We have some blue jellies, but there's not many of them, and it's lighter. It's lighter than it is on camera, but there's about one there. There's about 12 or 13 in here, but I want there to be 1,000 in there. That tank is it's low iron glass. I've got a few of them actually. They're I think they're 32 deep. They're deeper than they are tall. I think they're 32 deep, 30 high, and that's 45 centimeters. This is, guys, wide. They're 45 litres, so 10 UK gallon, which is about 12 US gallon, and those blue jellies. And I've never kept them, so one of the guys I know kindly sent me them. But yeah, I've done a video on this, and like literally from what it was before, stripping it down. That's all in time lapse, so you haven't got to watch me stripping the tank down, and then setting that guy up. And then let's see if we can. There's one in. So these are quite shy, but there's. I don't know if you guys can see that. Is she still there? No, she's gone. But there's one. Where's she gone? No, jumped away. but they are pretty shy, these. They do come out sometimes. I should probably starve these for a bit and do a live on those. You know, I'm going to put these on a live stream. But what we'll do then is I'm just going to put you on a familiar tank for a second, and then we'll move you on to one that I've not really watched with a live. Can't remember when I last fed these, so I can try, but whether they'll come to it or not, I don't know. I've got a little Anubias floating around, so I took it off a bit of cholla that was like almost fully decayed, and oh, Rob, behave. Call one Jimmy and one Savile. I doubt it. I might call one left and the other one hook. Or one right and one up, one right and one uppercut. So these guys are pure red line. And if you watch the channel, you'll know that I've struggled with these for the last couple of years. I literally got down to 4, and then everything in this tank is from, apart from 10 that I added for some new bloodstock that were pretty juvenile, that are still juvenile. Everything has, so all these babies are from those 4, and I don't know how clear that picture is, but as an example, so pure red line or crystal red normally have sort of multiple stripes. These are what are called no entry, so the second stripe is more of a no entry pattern, like a red, I suppose red lips. We no entry sign in the UK, a road sign is that, but I don't know if the camera's doing this justice. So this one here has almost got a yellow, it's white, but it's not brilliant white. It's almost got a very slight yellow hue. But this one doesn't have, well, it has, it's got a tiny, tiny spot on the tail, red, and it's white. And when I say it's white, it's brilliant white, like flash of lightning white. Um, Pure red lines are supposed to be relatively easy. I struggled. But yeah, I know people who had them on exactly the same soils as me, same parameters, using the same minerals, and they did really well with them. I absolutely struggled. So I'm going to drop myself on mute because you don't want to hear me eating. I'll keep an eye on the messages. My wife went to the supermarket today and she spotted mince pies, the type of mince pies that you usually get around Christmas. And she's just made me a cup of tea and says, "Do you want a mince pie?" And I do. So I'm going to drop on mute, guys. Just chat amongst yourselves for a sec. I haven't finished the mince pie. I think I'll have a mouthful of chat. A mouthful, do a bit of chat, mute myself, have another mouthful. And if you've seen the size of my mouth, it's only a couple of bites anyway. Oh, the Anubias is on its way down. So these ones aren't low iron. The one below was, but these are just standard float glass. These top tanks, but they're more for good eye. So yeah, these ones aren't low iron. These tanks, I'm sure I've mentioned this before on lives. I bought 12 of these, 10 of these tanks, and some aluminium racking that was very expensive. I think it cost the guy a couple of grand to get it shipped in from Europe. It's all sort of tubular aluminium clipped together pieces and stuff, and I had to drive a bit to fetch it, but it was I paid £10, about $14 a tank. They weren't brand new, but they do the job. And what you can see in the back, oh dear. So what you can see in the back there is it's just a piece of glass that's drilled, just a flat piece of glass, siliconed in top and side. And then those two sponges are two pieces of matte and sponge, a fine and a coarse. And one of them obviously catches fine particulates. Yeah, get well soon, definitely. One of them catches fine particulates, and the other is, and that's what you can see, bubbles as well. The other is more of a bacterial filter with just an uplift tube that creates me a nice lot of surface agitation and a floating piece of Anubias. I've got I caught a bit of video earlier actually of it's still up there, of a shrimp riding the boose, like a fairground ride, not the boose, the Anubias. Let's get my glass cleaner out and I'll move you to another tank so we get to look at a couple of them. So I made a mistake with this next tank. I'd selected a few shrimp out of my mixed blue bolt / steels, and then I bought some deep blue bolts and I put them in that tank, and I'm regretting putting my own stuff in there. So let's quickly move you down onto that one then, and I'll line you guys up. So there's 10 deep blue bolts in here, and there's some not so blue bolts. I want to get a bit, don't want to zoom in, I want to zoom out. There you go. So the white bits in the, for those of you that don't know, the bits of white are what's called snowflake. What's called snowflake, and it's a type of pellet that breaks down into loads of little bits. It's soya husk, and although it's not super good, although it's not super nutritious, it's a feed. The primary benefit of it is it doesn't foul the water. So if you put a high protein food in, If it's not eaten in 4 to 6 hours, take it out. But snowflake doesn't foul the water. So if I go on vacation or on holiday, as we call it in the UK, I'll throw a piece of snowflake in and various soaked leaves, Indian almond leaf, stuff like that. So they've got a constant grazing source, and then they don't get fed. You know, if I'm away for 10 days, I might ask my daughter to come in and just give them one pellet on sort of day 5, or if I'm away for 2 weeks after day 7. But in the main, they look after themselves, and I've not, as yet, touch wood, had any fatalities at all. The other thing I think benefits from snowflake is because it doesn't foul the water and it breaks up into a million little pieces, apart from it looking a little bit unsightly, juvenile shrimp have something to have a go at rather than everyone piling on one pellet. You know something good? Well, I've been on, my body clock's a bit messed up at the moment because I'm going to bed for a couple of hours, getting up in pain, and if someone's on a live, I'll go on it. It doesn't matter what time of night or day, early hours, midday, late. Gord's always on the live. He's worse than me. Just going to mute you guys again. It's mince pie time. Sorry, I was talking to you on mute. Can you hear anything now, Rob? I was talking to you on mute. I need to get myself. So on top of the tripod, I've got a gimbal. The gimbal's on a quick release. It'd be nice if I had. I can still get this quick release, so I can buy the bases. You have to buy the whole thing, but it'd be nice if I could just sort of buy a couple and then get the bases and have 2 or 3 tripods sort of preset at different heights. So it's literally just a case of clip out, clip in. Thanks, Jeff. Just so anyone who subs to anyone on any links, apologies for keep repeating this, but I think it's so important. If you sub to anyone, don't just click on the link and sub. Watch a short, watch a few minutes of a video, like it, comment on that video, and then sub, because quite a few of us have been getting subs, but they've not been appearing. So in some other website stats that sort of feeds into YouTube, it says that I had 2 subs yesterday, but my sub count hasn't changed. So we think YouTube doesn't count them and it classes them as spam content. But yet they want you to get as many subs as you can and work your backside off it, off for them, And if anyone does it for a job, unless you've got millions of subs, it's probably going to be the lowest paid job you'll ever have. And you might have had to have worked for a year. Not that it's work. I enjoy it. I enjoy the content. I enjoy the interaction. I enjoy sharing my hobby with like-minded people. It goes without saying that the people I've met who've got YouTube channels, that they're sort of the same. They monetization's a bonus, but it's not the be all and end all. And if I don't get monetized, I'll probably still be making content in a year's time, 2 years' time, if I can find enough stuff to talk about. Although what is nice is my room's constantly evolving and changing, and I get ideas, and I'll get rid of this and bring that in, and get rid of that and set this up. And read some comments, guys. Yeah, it's I use something called Social Blade, and Social Blade says that I picked up 3 subs over the last 2 days, but my sub count hasn't changed since Monday at all. And it will give you an aggregate figure. So Social Blade won't say, "Oh, you gained 2, but you lost 2." It will say you gained 0 if you if you got 2 and lost 2. It would say 0. You didn't gain any subs, but it's actually saying plus. Ooh. That was my other phone dropping out my pocket. Yeah, it's good. I've even started sort of if I nip somewhere to pick stuff up, I'll take a bit of footage off the dash cam and then speed it up just to add a bit to the video. And I find myself recording everything. So if I'm doing stuff in the room, I'll record it. Yeah, a lot of stuff. If I'm doing maintenance, it's sped up to the nth degree. So it's like I did water change on this rack, blah 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 blah, gone. But it still makes for part of the video and paints that picture of, you know, what you've been up to and stuff. I enjoy the vlog bits because I'm pretty much in the room doing something most days. Some days I don't record anything because it's just mundane, but other days I do. So even to the point where I bought some nice, I'm gonna say rugs, but they're like an entrance rug, but they're big. I bought some of those. I haven't yet, but I'll probably mention it in a video. So yeah, I picked 3 of these up for this price, whereas the little ones that I had, I was paying this for off Amazon type thing. So not in itself, not really relevant, but it sort of paints the picture of what someone's been up to. It's almost a diary. You're diarising something. I'm going to ask a quick question. I think, I don't know what time it went live, had a very short video scheduled in for tonight. I've got a feeling it was the same time as this, you know. I think it's called 4 to 100. It's about 50 seconds. It's not long. It's just music and text and footage. Anyone seen that yet? Yeah, YouTube math isn't amazing. It's amazing. At the end of the day, I mean, don't get me wrong. You know, we've got to put into perspective that YouTube has invested billions in facilities to store, and it's a business. You know, whichever way you look at it, it's a business. You know, and at the moment the model might not work for us, and at other times it might work well and not well other times. But I'm still convinced. Well, I know it's true because they've openly admitted that they're trying to push channels under 500, channels that have got under 500 subs. They're trying to actively promote those. So what about those between 500 and 1,000? Are they just brushed under the carpet? These are a good starter, Jeff. If you don't mind, sort of. Somebody says they look too much like Neos, but they breed like stink. And the camera probably doesn't do them justice. But they're a tiger cross called Bloodshot, and they're a cross between wild red, a stabilized cross between wild red tiger and tangerine tiger. And they'll pretty much live on any conditions, and they're as hardy as a pair of old boots. No, I think it only went. Can somebody put Black Holly's link in? Or if you haven't already. I'm sure they do content. I'm sure Black Holly Exotic does content, pods and stuff. I was saying earlier, and I forgot about it, and I've come back to it. I bought a bit of an isopod shipment off somebody. Daniel at ISO King, and Daniel usually sends me something on top, and he gave me some millipedes that I never wanted, and He gave me 5. They're called pink dragons, and I researched them. I didn't know about them. Researched them, and it was like, oh, when they threaten, they can produce cyanide. But I think it's so minor, and they have to be really threatened that it's not really toxic to us anyway. But he said to me they like it quite humid, a few layers of leaves, and I did that. Saw one dead a few days later, then another one dead, then another one dead. Couldn't work out what I was doing wrong. Only saw one for ages, and then that one disappeared completely as well. So I started asking some questions on groups. Do they burrow? To which I found out they do, but kept an eye on it for a couple of months, nothing. And then I was going to clean it out yesterday, and I literally lifted the leaves up to check, and there was loads of young ones. Today I've gone through my isopod tubs and sprayed them, and surprise, surprise, 3 of my tubs had the same millipedes in them, so they've obviously got out and got into other tubs. Sorry, let's just read this. Yeah, pink dragons, I think, yeah, pink dragons. But I found them in other isopod tubs. I've managed to collect the ones that I wanted. I don't know if they're Thai pinks or just pink dragons. I think you can get a yellow dragon as well. But these are just the standard pink dragons. They go for about £8 each, I think, something like that. But they're bred like crazy and escape. So what I've had to do is get some. I've cut some little bits of sponge up that I use in the top of my fruit fly cultures, and I've just blocked the little vent holes up on the what are these called? The Braplast tubs, just for now, and I'll keep an eye on if there's enough ventilation in there. And I mean, worst case scenario, what I'll do is I'll take the lid off and I'll put some mesh. I'll glue gun some mesh over the little holes. Rob's from Hull. I think my chat keeps freezing, but Keith said his was freezing earlier. So let me close my chat and reopen it. And then let's pull it back up. Yeah, my chat's freezing. My bees, I put my bees in, I think you're in Pod's group or Daniel's group, I think. I put my bees in one of these sort of mini acrylic terrariums, not the tiny one, the bigger one with the cheap humidity sensor in. And it's quite nice for the bees, but what I did was I cut some fly screen mesh to the size of the quite wide vents, and just use clear tape to sort of tape the edges over the mesh so it didn't block the vents, and you can't really see, and it's worked. But the first one I had, the smaller one, as soon as it got moist, the lid just bowed. But this one, it does bow a little bit, but it's got a brace, like a strut brace across it, so it's not It's not as bad at all. Yeah, we've spoken. I'm sure we had. I'm sure I've watched some of your videos in Anthony's group. No worries, Rob. Hope you feel better. My my chat keeps freezing, guys. So please excuse me. Yeah, I hope you feel better. I think it's a day for people feeling rubbish. We've got someone with COVID. Rob feels not well. Jeff wasn't well earlier. I've not been too bad, although I managed to get a little bit more sleep than I did the night before, but not much. I think I was up at 6:30 a.m. and went to bed about 12:30, I think, one. So 5.5, 6 hours. I'll run to the hour mark, guys, and then we'll. Yeah, I have. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, my where they gone? Des Desmoxites planata pink dragons. Desmoxites, is that correct? So they're really nice. Yeah, I left the tub for ages. Just I thought it was sort of deaded out, and I was going to clear it out today. And I happened to lift the leaf up, and there was just loads of little tiny ones in there, in between the oak leaves that I put in. And then as I was doing my weekly pod check, I I spotted them in other tubs. Oh dear, here we go. But they're herbivores anyway. I believe they won't attack the pods and stuff. Yeah, just let me know when you're ready. I'll sort you out. I don't know how many I've got. There's quite a few in there, so I'm not sort of overrun with them to the point of you put a bit of fruit in and they're absolutely swarming it. It's literally yesterday I noticed that there was stuff in there, and then today I've spotted a few in others. Not stacks, I think I've took 4 or 5 out of other tubs. Not each tub. I think 2 in one, 3 in another, 2 in that one, 3 in that one, and 1 in another. But there may be others. So I've done that with events, and I've moved them down onto another shelf where there's nothing below them. Well, there is. There's zebras, yellow zebs, armadillidiums, and they've got no vents in the lid. They're in big tubs, so if they come out, they're going on the floor, not sort of escaping. Oh, the pods will eat the millipedes. Oh, it's the other way around then, yeah. I mean, luckily they went into tubs that weren't heaving, and I've had a problem with. I had some Porcelio flavomarginatus, and had 10, and I was doing really well for ages, and I think there's one left, and I've got no idea why. Followed all the instructions. I've got I've got yellows. This happened with my yellows. So I think I had 10 yellows. They went down to about 3. I don't know how long they live. They're probably like shrimp. They might have been adult at the point of getting them. But I went down to about 3 spotted babies. Now I've got loads of them. And my chocolates have done the same. So I bought 10 chocolates. I was literally down to 1. But I've looked in it, and there's loads of babies in there, but 1 adult. Exactly the same with my bees. I'm going to end the stream in a minute, guys. I'll finish with these ember bees. Let me zoom that out a second. I'll show you what I mean. So this is I've sort of done it as it's not massive. It's 30 centimeters, but I had 5 bees. I won them in a raffle. Had 5 bees, again down to 1. But I've got and had babies, but I've got loads of them. There's a couple of generations in there. And these are literally from my last one. So the one must have been buried or gravid. I'd spray it so they all run about, but it has been sprayed. So you can tell just by looking at them, there's a couple of different generations in there. I guess I'd say that the last one has turned into 30 in this little terrarium. So at some points I'm probably going to have to upgrade them, but what I've done with this is there's these type of vents. So I've literally just cut out some fly mesh and used clear tape, and right across the back, I don't know if you can make that out, I've done exactly the same across the back, so just taped on the edges. But this tank never gets shown on my lives because it's this tank, because the lights are usually off by the time I put less light in this tank, shrimp tank, because when I first set it up, it was the first time I had it was the first time I ever had a problem in 35 years of keeping aquariums, and it was the very first time I ever had cyanobacteria. So I cut the light back, treated it, scooped it all out, cut the light back, and it's not returned. So don't forget, if you want to enter the draw to name these pair. So they're Azurius, Tinctorius Azurius Cobalt, and I originally wanted Brazil Yellowheads, but I just couldn't get them, and these came up. But cool, as you can see, my voice has gone like a raspy old man. I desperately need to drink this cup of tea, and we've run an hour, so I'd like to thank everyone for this inaugural. There we go, it's come out. And there's another one there, look. I'd like to thank everyone for sort of dropping on this inaugural shrimping around live stream, and I'll have a think about what we can do. I'm going to do it every Wednesday at the same time. It's scheduled in the Fish Fan diary, and I'll have a think about what we can. There's 4 of those in there. They're quite small frogs, these. Have a think about what we can do. Might see if we can get some guests on. Be nice to get some of the Singapore breeders on the live stream, but whether they would or not, I don't know. I've got a couple of their WhatsApp numbers, and I've spoken to them in the past, so we'll have to see what happens. But I'd like to thank everyone, and hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. So I believe that Jeff Jeff Pelham Aquatics has got Aquarium Addicts Anonymous going live at 8:30. So if you, I don't know if you want to, if Jeff's in there, I don't know if you want to put a link to your stream, Jeff, before we finish. I've not as yet. I think I've got 3. I don't think they're adult yet. I think they take 2 years. But I've got 3. I think I've got 3 male because I have played the call, and one of them was jumping up the glass like crazy, which I'm assuming is a female. Oh, there's the other one. Look at that for a hiding place. Literally just sitting on that leaf. Look. And as you can tell, I probably overfeed them. But I've got a little canister. So let me zoom out. So I don't know if you can see that little black tube there. That's a film canister. And I keep moisture in it, just hoping that I'll spot a male carrying the eggs down, and then I can take the canister out and try and rear the tadpoles. But I'll have a go. I don't know how easy they are. I think the problem with phantasmals is they're quite easy to breed, and I don't want to end up with loads of them, if that makes sense. Although I could just choose to have a go if I can sell them, have another go, and just breed a couple, not loads, half a dozen or so. But thanks everybody. I'm going to end it there. Next Wednesday, 7 p.m. same time. I don't know if Jeff's put his. So thanks, Gord. So Red's put the link to Jeff's live stream that comes up at 8:30, and it's usually a good stream if any of you want to watch that. Take care, everyone. I might appear on Jeff's live stream. I don't know yet. I'll see how I feel. Take care, everyone. Bye bye. Bye bye.